What's up, everyone? DKRACK here. Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to Mr. Nightmare's newest video, 3 creepy emails with disturbing backstories. Like always, guys, you know the drill. I'll have a link to the original video down below. Make sure and go check out Mr. Nightmare. You know, he has, I don't know how many millions of subscribers. I'm sure most of you guys know who Mr. Nightmare is. He's a lot bigger channel than I am, but I always say to go over and check him out, show him some love. But 3 creepy emails with disturbing backstories. Here we go, guys.
If you ever check your spam folder in your email, there's a chance at one point you received an email with one of your passwords in the title.
I
and
rarely
the email would be threats of leaking your information
check my spam
or worse,
folder
unless you paid a certain ransom, usually in Bitcoin. This usually happens when a hacker, or even often a regular user, will likely find this info by merely searching any of the numerous data breach databases available on criminal forums. In March of 2019, a 25-year-old man named Joe Albanese received a similar email to what was just described. It was
I've never got one of these emails before, knock on wood. I pray this never happens to me, but thank God it hasn't happened yet. They probably don't target me because I'm not rich. They probably know I don't have Bitcoin or a lot of money to send them, so.
titled his password that he used for every account that he had. This was obviously a cause for alarm, so he opened it immediately to read the contents of the email. This is what it said. Hey Joe, all you really need to know is that I know your password and other personal information. I won't come after you, I won't harm you. As long as you send me a small
that's a damn threat. I won't harm you as long as you do what the hell I say.
Amount of money, $5,000 in the form of Bitcoin. We're going to refer to it as a donation for a good cause, not as any kind of blackmail. My Bitcoin address is... If you don't send me the money, bad things may happen. Don't even bother going to the police. This email is untraceable. Joe did some research and learned that these kinds of threatening emails are common scams, and usually nothing will come of them. Still, Joe replied to the email asking, "What other personal information of mine do you currently possess? I'd love to know." He sent this as a sort of challenge to the email, not even really expecting a response or for it to even go through.
He got a response.
But it did, and he promptly received a response back saying, "I know your home address is F. If you go to the police, I will know about it and you will be sorry." This is when worry would really set in with just about anyone, as having a password leaked in a data breach is one thing, but some unknown person having your home address threatening you with it is completely next level. Joe didn't reply to the email for several days, but he also didn't go to the police. He decided to wait it out and see what would happen next, and after 3 days, there was a follow-up email saying, "I'm still waiting for the payment. I won't wait much longer."
Damn.
Joe replied this time saying, "I'm not paying you $5,000. If you want to come to my house, you'll get a face full of lead." This was a complete bluff though, as he doesn't actually own a gun, and the hacker likely knew that because that same night, Joe received a follow-up email containing a picture of his house. It was the side of his parents' house and zoomed in on his bedroom window upstairs. He didn't want to tell his parents in fear of worrying them.
This
now
is
that his gun bluff didn't work,
this is
he
just
knew he may
disturbing.
have to get them or the police involved. He responded one more time saying, "I don't have $5,000. I'm broke paying off student loans. The house you sent a picture of is my parents' house. They did nothing wrong. If you need to do this, please do it to someone else. I don't have the money to send you even if I wanted to." There was no response this time, but within an hour, the sound of glass shattering from downstairs traveled throughout the house. And everyone, including his parents, heard it. There was one of their decorative bricks from the front of the house laying in the dining room among thousands of tiny shards of glass from the broken window.
Yeah, that's the messed up thing with these scammers or people who hack into stuff. What if you don't have the $5,000? You can't just, pull money out of your freaking ass and be like, "Here you go, here's $5,000. If you don't have the money, you don't have it. So I don't know what the guy expects him to do. If he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the money.
Joe tried to explain the situation as quickly
what's
as
he
he
supposed
could,
to
while
do?
he and his dad took a quick look outside for anyone who could be out there. His mother called the police. Joe showed the police officers the emails and everything, which were forwarded to the police department. A police officer stayed parked outside the Albanese house for a couple hours that night. Joe blocked the email address from sending any further emails, and as far as he knew, he was never contacted again. The police had a hard time tracing back the original source of the email, as it was sent from an untraceable device, likely an iPod Touch or similar device.
Damn, so he wasn't bluffing, it was untraceable.
Being famous in their lives. A lot of people create this image in their head that being in the public eye creates for nothing but a fairy tale life. But that's far from the truth. Being under the spotlight in any capacity comes with a lot of drawbacks, one of which being stalkers and overly obsessed fans. One extreme case of this,
freaking stalker.
an ex-radio host and DJ who was centered in Los Angeles had a long, seemingly never-ending chain of emails from an obsessed fan. It started around 2005 or 2006 when the DJ started noticing a regular listener, someone who listened to the show every day and would call in on the request line from time to time. At one point,
I've only had one obsessed fan on my YouTube channel, and I'm not even famous. I have 57,000 subscribers, which is a lot more than some people on YouTube, but there's YouTubers with millions and millions of subs, so I'm definitely not up there at the top end of YouTubers, but I couldn't imagine what it's like to be like a celebrity or someone like that, where you have like tons of stalkers. That would suck.
The listener won a prize from the show, and in order to deliver the prize, the DJ requested her email, and that's where things began. In order to be polite and cordial with the girl, he would answer all of her emails, and when Facebook started to become popular, he added her back where she commonly liked and commented on his posts. This went on for a while, until one day the fan professed her love for him. The DJ rejected this advance in the most polite way he could. She seemingly accepted the rejection, and the DJ thought it would be the end of it, but it wasn't. In 2011, she emailed him a link to a blog that she was writing, where she would post about him and their quote-unquote love multiple times per day.
What?
She followed him over to a new radio station and was religiously listening to his shows, assigning meaning to the musical playlist. For example, the song Marry Me by Train was popular at the time, and whenever that song would play on his show, she would blog about it actually being a marriage proposal from the DJ. She began saving all his photos from his social media and photos of other women in his...
So this lady is clearly delusional. She's living in some fairy tale world where she thinks she's like, or well, she's in love with the DJ, but she's in some fairy tale world where she thinks the DJ's in love with her as well. Like, wake up, lady, wake up.
His life, like friends and girlfriends, and posting them to her blog with extremely hateful words. She'd make posts raging about him being a man whore, followed by another post not even 10 minutes later in a completely different tone, apologetic and soft.
Sounds like she
may have bipolar tendencies.
Multiple personality
the DJ did his best to
disorder.
Ignore it, even though by this point he was extremely creeped out. But as she again began emailing him, he tried more forcefully this time to get her to stop, but she wouldn't stop. The DJ started
she just won't give up.
Requests to her blog posts for the photos of his that she had posted.
Damn.
The repeated violations got her blog shut down. But then she started emailing him instead of posting blogs. He made a filter folder so he never would have to see them aside from occasionally peeking at the insanity in the folder from time to time, just out of curiosity. Years went by and he hadn't answered any of her emails after 2 of them when
this lady is full-blown crazy. Oh my God.
He very adamantly told her to stop all communications and leave him alone. This continued for years, and in total, she has sent him over 4,000 emails, all of which he's archived.
4,000?
This is a picture of just a select few of them.
Damn.
The more recent emails had gotten very dark and violent in tone. In one of the most recent ones, she was threatening to find and hurt the DJ and happily go to jail for it. In another one, she listed the specific neighborhood in which he lived, which she worries she may have his address if she already knew what town he lives in.
How did she get this information?
The flow of information?
That's the real question.
All his social media accounts a while back, but she would still email him pictures he appeared in from his friends who had public profiles, as well as radio station photos that he appeared in.
This lady is insane.
She
She's
sent
crazy.
The DJ photos of a shrine she had made of him in her home, with framed photos of his social media that she had posted up on the walls, desks, etc. Being a DJ, his appearance schedule must remain public.
This poor DJ, this is like straight out of a frickin' horror movie. The question is, why is this lady so damn obsessed with this DJ from some random radio station? Why is she so frickin' obsessed?
So she could technically find him working in nightclubs anytime she wants to, and understandably, he's freaked out and worried about his safety. After calling multiple
you don't want the
attorneys,
crazy
none
bitch
seemed very
showing up
interested
with
in helping
a
him with this matter.
gun or something
Due to his fear of
at a
facing the girl in real
nightclub.
life or even being in the same room as her, he never went through with filing a restraining order. He also worried that on the off chance she didn't have his home address, the legal process would reveal it to her. To my knowledge, there was never any follow-up with this, and it's not known if the harassment continued or what route the DJ pursued, if any. But this is one of those extreme cases of how a fan's obsession could have a very negative effect on someone's well-being and mental health.
That poor guy. I legit feel bad for the DJ.
This last one,
My
a viewer who
God.
wanted to be referred to as Christian received multiple emails that he wanted me to share in a story video. Christian has a friend named Katie who was out for a job interview. They used to be co-workers, which is how they met. Nothing was out of the ordinary until Christian started to try and contact Katie after her interview was supposed to be done, only to find that his texts weren't delivering and calls were going straight to voicemail. It was very possible that her phone could have been off or she had no cell service, but as hours passed and still nothing was delivering, he started to get concerned. The most likely and obvious possibility was that she lost or broke her phone, but finally, hours later, the text said delivered. However, Kate never replied. That same day, as Christian was checking his email, he saw an email from Katie's old work email. He opened it, and it read, "Hey, I lost my phone and keys. Can you come pick me up? I'm by some old warehouse construction-looking building in the parking lot across from a Hyatt place." Christian asked when she last had her phone and if she had any idea how she lost it. She replied, "I have no idea. Just come soon, please. It's cold." The address that she then sent to better help Christian get to her said it was 20 minutes away. But looking at the location of the address on the map, it led to some abandoned-looking warehouse parking lot, evident by the green growing in the parking lot and decaying-looking rooftop.
Red flag.
Christian sent another email back, demanding she go to a less sketchy pickup point. She took a few minutes to answer back with, "I'm already sitting on a bench here. I'm comfortable. Just please hurry."
No.
Christian got in his car.
No, someone hacked her email and they're trying to set this guy up to probably rob him. They want to be in a secluded, isolated area. So Christian shows up thinking he's going to pick up Katie and he's going to get beat up or possibly murdered, robbed, his vehicle stolen, probably his wallet, money. Who knows? But nothing good. I have a bad feeling about this here for Christian. Hopefully he's smart enough to not go. It sounds like he's smart enough. He's like, WTF, why are you at an abandoned building, you know?
Car and started following the directions to the location he was told to go. But about halfway there, he stopped the car when he had a thought. And that was, how is she using her laptop to email him in the middle of some random parking lot by an abandoned warehouse?
There'd be no Wi-Fi or internet either.
It was possible that there was some free Optimum Wi-Fi nearby or something.
I doubt it.
It did seem very unlikely. This is where Christian became suspicious of the whole thing. And the fact that she was using her laptop to contact him instead of going to the hotel across the street and calling him just made it seem more suspicious. He tried calling her number a few times, and now it was ringing.
Or her laptop was stolen. Her laptop could have been stolen.
Rang twice, and somebody picked up for a second, though most likely on accident. By this point, Christian was suspicious all of Katie's things were stolen. He called Katie's brother to tell him about the situation and ask his opinion. But when he asked first thing, "Have you heard from Katie?" Katie's brother said she had been home for 2 hours, and that her entire backpack and phone were stolen. Christian yelled into the phone that he was being led into some sketchy parking lot at that very moment by someone who was on Katie's email, most likely on her laptop. Christian drove to Katie's house immediately to pick the two of them up, and they called her phone and left a voicemail with all three of them yelling threats of what they'd do if they didn't return the phone and laptop, which probably went unheard if the thief didn't have her passcode. They also sent a number of texts which went unresponded to. After calling the police and requesting assistance in the parking lot, a police car did show up, but the entire parking lot was abandoned as expected.
They left.
And no further emails were received.
They took the phone and the laptop.
Kate's phone was never turned on again. It was likely disposed of. She never got any of her stuff back.
Oh, that sucks.
Christian may have avoided being lured into some kind of trap that would have led to him being robbed or harmed.
I told you guys, Christian was smart enough. He started driving and he's like, this is sketchy. So I'm glad that he caught on that. Katie's laptop, phone, her whole backpack was stolen. Oh, that would freaking suck. But guys, this was 3 creepy emails with disturbing backstories. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, leave a comment down below. And until next time, peace.